Does it feel like the weight of the world has lifted from some of the guys in this room after Sunday's game?
You'd have to ask those guys. I'm not sure. I feel like it's been a while since we won, obviously, so the energy and excitement was on a different level than we've had it. I'm not sure about the way of the world, though.
When you attack a short week like this, what's the key to having success?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've done pretty good on these Thursday games over the years. We've had probably more than half of them at home, which helps. Obviously, that's a big advantage for us to be able to sleep in our own beds and have our crowd. But I think, it just comes down to the study time and just being locked in. These are long days. We're going through a lot of different plays. We're cramming in 2 days into 1 day. So a lot of work for the coaches and a lot of study for the players.
Did you see a tighter performance coming offensively?
Not necessarily, no. I hope for a better performance for sure, but I think it was the first time we've got Christian really through a game and got him some opportunities, and then we ran the football really well. I thought our offensive line played great. I thought the pass protection was really good, and we stuck with the run the entire game and it was effective. Even the fourth quarter, we had a bunch of runs that actually set up some of the game-winning plays for us in the passing game.
Is that sustainable? Those things you're talking about?
I don't know. I mean, sustainable has become one of those words that gets said a little bit too much, I think, this year. So I'm going to stay away from sustainable.
What do you remember from the last time you played them on Sunday night?
Tennessee?
Yep.
Snow. A.J. Dillon's touchdown run. Devontae's fingertip catch down the left sideline. A lot of great plays. They had a really big game that day, obviously. But I felt like up front we handled the line of scrimmage really well and pretty efficient in the passing game.
Aaron, there's been years when you averaged better than 30 points a game around here. You've got that number for the first time Sunday. With that, is it a sigh of relief? Is it excitement for what that can mean moving forward? What's the feeling after attaining it?
I mean, it's excitement. It's been a while, since we had over 30. So I think sigh of reliefs come when you put too much negative energy towards something that doesn't deserve it. So there's no sigh of relief. There's no weight of the world off of my shoulders. Preparation stays the same. Focus stays the same. Expectations stay the same. But it was nice to play a more complete game on offense.
Aaron, back to the offensive line. How have you seen that group kind of settle in now? I think last week was the first week all 5 played every snap, and back-to-back weeks haven't.
That's going to be an important part of our success moving forward if we can keep those guys healthy. Both sets of guard tackle have played a lot of football next to each other. All of them really on the left side. But I think John has been really, really consistent for us at right guard. And a couple other guys played probably their best games of the season, including Josh, who I think had a really nice game. So we protected well, we communicated really well, and then we gave just little gaps for those backs, and man, they had a big day.
What's the toughest part about seeing guys get cut, like what you did today with Kylan and Amari?
It's the relationships. This is livelihood, and as much as there's criticism from outside the building, and some people probably think that this is warranted and they're excited about it. You're talking about a person's livelihood, a person's life, feelings, ego, memories. So a little sensitivity to that, I think, would go a long way because we're talking about people, not just numbers on the jersey that you watch on Sundays. So definitely feel for the people because this is something we all love doing and we want to play this for a long time. And I've been fortunate enough to not get that call before. But I can definitely imagine what that would feel like, and had many, many friends over the years get that call and move on. And it's sad to see those people go because you really love the people, and you want them to play well and to feel good and to be taken care of mentally, physically, emotionally, and all those things.
Aaron, on Sunday you mentioned you were able to put the ball almost exactly where you wanted to pretty much every throw. How's the thumb feeling now? I know you took the hit early in the Dallas game, but how's it feel now, say, compared to right after that London game, the first week after the game?
About the same. Yeah, about the same. I need probably a week off for it to get back to where I need it to be. Every game there's been something that's hit it, whether it's a snap under center or a hit from a defender. So just got to deal with it. But I think a combination of the weather and just a little different mindset I was able to really put the ball where I wanted to.
I think you'll have to tape it at least through the bye week.
Yeah. Does the mini bye going to help a little bit, or is it just?
Yeah, I think every day off is going to help for sure, but I feel like it needs 7 days probably, not just a couple. I'm not sure how many Matt's going to give us off. Hopefully we can win this one, and maybe Captain Blood takes away that bonus Monday that he's got planned.
Do you feel like maybe the guys in the locker room or yourself maybe need a couple of extra days for that mini bye just to kind of get away from the game after having gone through 11 weeks and then the short week here?
Yeah, I'd love that. I think we all would. But we trust Matt. I don't think it'll be a super strenuous, one of those old gaggers we used to have on bonus Mondays, over the years. It probably won't be that, but yeah, any extra time we get, any time we get to get out of the facility early is always a good thing for us.
Aaron, you mentioned negative energy earlier. What about the positive energy you're feeling offensively? Wes mentioned the line playing together. Watson obviously changing the way your offense looks. You were under center more than you were in shotgun on Sunday, and then Cobb probably, maybe coming back. Is the offense, do you see it morphing into what you envisioned going into the season? Is it starting to look like you want it to look?
I don't know. I think there's overreactions, negatively and positively every single game you play. And no offense, Tim, but you haven't been the only one who's talked about sustainability and certain ways of winning and playing. I think it's all week to week. It really is. You try and find your identity throughout the season. A lot of that is, kind of just jargon to keep a conversation going. In fact, the most important identity is competitive greatness and going out there and playing your best when your best is needed. We hadn't played a four-quarter game all season. I felt like that was really close Sunday. Really proud of the guys, the way we finished in the fourth quarter and then put together a good drive in overtime. But I don't know. You have ideas about how things are going to be, I think, when the season starts. But you don't know what's going to happen injury-wise and play style and which guy's going to play really good and which guys are going to struggle maybe a little bit. I think we all were hoping for a performance like that out of 9 and excited for him. But obviously not having 87 out there is taking some opportunities away from our offense. But if we can get Cobby back, that'd be a big lift. The consistent players that we've had in this league have been behind me in the backfield. Jonesy's had a great season and AJ's been playing really well. So we got to keep riding those guys.
What can you expect from the Mike Vrabel defense?
They're pretty sound. They play really hard. They got 29 sacks, 3 guys with 5+ sacks. They're number 1 in the league in third down, top 10 in the red zone. There's not a lot of big holes out there. They obviously played good against Denver, held them at 10 points. They're a tough team. They got some great players up front. Stout guys in the middle. Simmons is a baller. Real good guys off the edge, solid inside at linebacker to back end, plays really well together. So it's a toughness that Mike brings. And the expectations, I'm sure, for them are really, really high. I keep in touch with Mike throughout the year, and they lost their first 2 games. And I think, just like happens in this league, there's probably overreactions and what the hell's going on and what are we going to do. And I think they rattled off 5 or 6 wins in a row and kind of quieted everybody out, but they obviously have a really good football team, and Mike's a great coach.
We're reviewing out various athletes on just how they're monitoring their Twitter feeds, Twitter accounts, based on all the changes there. I know you're not that frequent a Twitter, but are you going to do anything differently regarding your social media based on the changes on Twitter?
I'm not exactly sure what changes you're talking about.
New ownership with Elon Musk.
Yeah, I'll probably be about as active as I've been on Twitter. I enjoy Instagram a little bit more at this point. I look forward to the day I have no social media, which may be coming sooner than later. But at this point, I'm not going to make any drastic social media changes.
NFL people, you've spoken out in the past about some of the turf fields. The NFL PA's kind of made some news with that this week. How do you feel? What changes would you like to see yourself, just in terms of the teams that turf surfaces?
As much as I've enjoyed playing indoors over the years on turf, I do think it's time to go all grass throughout the league. I think you would see less of these non-contact injuries that we see on some of the surfaces. and I think that it'd be a good step in the right direction towards player safety to make the requirement for every field to be grass.
I saw Dave's Twitter. He was mentioning film grass. I think J.C. Treader was talking about turf, rather. The differences. Are there some turf fields that are better than others?
Yes.
What's the biggest difference in your eyes, and what makes one good, what makes one bad?
I think a lot of it's the softness of it. Some of these fields are a little bit softer than others, and what that does is it creates more wobble, I believe, when the foot strikes the ground, and it's that wobble that can cause some of these non-contact knee injuries that we've seen. I'm not sure if that's the standard that's set for that type of surface, or it's the insulation of that surface, but a lot of that could be just done away with if we had grass in every stadium.
What are some of the turf ones that you think are better?
No, I'm not going to get into that.
How quickly can the league make a change like that? I know JC was asking for immediate change. I mean, you got stadiums with turf in them, they can't immediately do something. What do you think the logistics of that would look like to get to where you want to get?
There's a lot of money in this league. Everybody's making a lot of money. So just about cost. I don't know how much that would cost. I'm sure a few million, but the league's been doing pretty well. We're still the highest rated sporting league, and Sunday Night Football has great ratings. Monday Night Football's probably back with Joe and Troy with good ratings. Thursday night does great. All prime time's doing pretty well, so that probably could happen pretty quick.
Aaron, you've been pretty active over the years, obviously, with NFLPA. Do you have any?
That's a stretch a little bit. Yeah, I've been around. I've
been
been a listener and an occasional invitee to certain conversations.
With
but
the knowledge that you have,
yeah,
do you have any real confidence that that's a change that the league will make?
no, honestly, I don't have a lot of confidence when it comes to the league making that decision without some sort of big vote and gripes from certain owners who don't want to spend the money. There were many things in the last negotiations that the PA decided to pay for out of our own pocket because the ownership just didn't want to fund some of those things. This to me is player safety. We, and when I say we, I mean the people who negotiated without the players, agreed to 17 games, which wasn't about player safety, it was about monetary gains. So this would be putting your money where your mouth is if player safety is important.
Aaron, since we're taking a 30,000-foot view and talking about player safety, would you like to see 2 buys during the season? We're all talking about this great mini buy, but you're also playing twice in 5 days to get that mini buy, which is not player safety oriented either.
Well, I think we know why. I don't feel like extending the season is the right thing to do. Back, if they would do it, it would probably have to be on the front end. Maybe eliminating another preseason game and starting the season a week earlier. Maybe that first Sunday in September. Now looks like we're the second usually, other than the first game of the season. So I think that'd be a good thing for sure. There was talk years ago about an international week where you had multiple games, 7, 8, 9 games outside of the country in the same week, and then everybody was off the next week. That's an idea. But 2 bye weeks would definitely go a long way, I think.
Aaron, at halftime they're going to be honoring Leroy. I know you put a lot of your word behind him and his chase for the Hall of Fame. Is that going to be pretty special to see him get his name up on that stadium? Yeah,
it's long overdue. I'm really happy for him. He's a Packers staple. I love the fact that we keep so many of our own tight, in the family, and that he's around. He came and gave us a great speech during training camp, and really appreciated his words. But excited for him. It's got to be a great honor, not just go in, but to get honored at the stadium that he played at, and obviously he made the Lambeau Leap famous.
More for him?
Do you ever think ahead to the day that your name is up there?
Yeah, from time to time. Dave always makes fun of me. He says I'm going to be like 300 pounds when I'm done playing. And I'm going to have to convince people of who I actually am. I hope it's the other way around.